Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. Welcome to day 2888 of What's She Up To Now. This is a place where I document the journey that I've had mostly since I came to the online world, off of the brick and mortar and corporate simultaneous working world. Today we're talking about and continuing with the IDEANCE process. Step 4, the IDEANCE process is to take action. Well, before we can take action to fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be, we have to analyze the options that we have at our disposal and decide what to take action on. And then we're going to take action right now, today, in the present moment. Why? It's the only time we can act. And we want to never leave the scene of a decision without taking some sort of action to reinforce that decision. So I talked about the Eisenhower matrix today, as well as the 5E tool. The 5E tool is a tool that, there's one called the 3E tool, but I added a couple levels because I like to do that. I like to have more options, not less. And so we look at effectiveness, effort level, how much energy do I have to put into something or effort for it, emotional readiness, expense, and energy. By energy, how much of all the different things need to go into, and not just my effort, into the decision or the choice or the alternative that we're choosing. And I will weight those, give them a 3, 2, 1, depending on how many alternatives I'm looking at. I'm usually looking at 3 different alternatives. And I narrowed this down today because after doing this thousands of times, you start to see the patterns. We can have done for us options, we can have done with us options, and we can have do it ourselves options. And almost any challenge or improvement area that we can think of, there are multiple things that fall into those categories. And if I look back on all the lists I've ever done this on, all the brainstorming lists, everything could be categorized in one of these 3 categories. And the amount of effort, energy, emotional readiness, etc., required for each of these will be different for the problem or the challenge or the thing that we're trying to improve, fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be. But you start to really see the patterns in yourself, your organization, your behaviors, other people, and that makes it so much easier to make decisions and deal with different things. And so that is what we're working on for the Be a Better You Annual Challenge today, as well as supersizing our business. We're running through the IDEANCE process one last time this year, so we installed it in our subconscious and we have it in our toolbox whenever we need it going forward. Some things we don't need to consciously consider. We run them through our subconscious and poof, we know exactly what to do. You might have selected something that is just like that. Me, on the other hand, I did not select something that is just like that. So I need the structure and the objectivity to balance out my emotional second-guessing nature, if that makes sense. I'm working on next year's challenge. I have got a ton to do to get ready for next year's challenge. And not a ton, but I like to create the entire structure for the year before the new year starts, so that every day I just know what to do and I just hit the ground running. I don't know if you do that, if you plan your year in advance, but I certainly do in most areas and aspects of my life. So I'm working on that this weekend. If I can help you in any way, please ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.